After 5 straight games on the NES, the Mega Man formula was starting to run itself dry, and was in dire need of some revitalisation. But Inafune wanted to round out the classic series of games with a 6th entry on the NES, despite the SNES already being out. So while they developed the next big step in the franchise, that being the first X series game, they developed 6 as a send-off to the NES era of Mega Man. So, was it a good send-off? I'd say so.
Despite playing all 6 of the NES games back to back, I still wasn't bored of the formula, but it did start to feel a little samey and tired to me. But luckily, Mega Man 6 has some cool little innovations up its sleeve to keep things feeling fresh. The first and most obvious is the Rush adapters, new forms Mega Man can assume after merging with Rush, known as Jet Mega Man and Power Mega Man. Jet Mega Man allows you to fly briefly, which is not only used as a way to avoid bottomless pits and enemies, but also as a way to access branching pathways that give you a bunch of cool pickups. Power Mega Man allows you to do the same thing, but instead by charging up a powerful punch that can break blocks and tear through enemies with ease.
The power-ups had a layer of complexity to the gameplay that I didn't think was possible this late in the series. Okay, maybe complexity is overselling it, but whatever you want to call it, it freshens up the gameplay a lot.
Also, while we're on the topic of branching pathways, while not a lot is done with them, they're still a neat addition, especially when it comes to accessing alternate Robot Master fights in certain stages. Why would you want to access a different fight? Well, if you beat the respective Robot Master in said alternate fight, you get to play it, and if you collect all 4, you get beat. He can no longer harm bosses in this game, but he's still very useful. I didn't bother getting him though. The Robot Masters themselves are pretty cool. They're all based off of different cultural stereotypes, but in a tasteful way, as opposed to something like Punch-Out stereotypes. Some of my favourites are Tomahawk Man and Yamato Man, who are based off of American and Japanese culture respectively. All of the Robot Masters are cool, but these ones really stood out to me as cool references. Centaur Man is another cool, slightly unconventional one. He's probably the most unique Robot Master out of the entire classic series. I was kinda surprised by the originality of the Robot Masters this late in the series. I mean, who would have expected a 4-legged Robot Master?
I think that's what Mega Man 6 does best. It maintains the quality of the presentation and gameplay of the previous entries, and kinda elevates them while creating a best of out of those elements, if that makes sense. Then it adds these cool little things to give it its own personality, like branching pathways and Robot Masters with ties to real world cultures. Past that though, Mega Man 6 doesn't really do much to differentiate itself. But personally, I don't think it needed to. I think Mega Man 6 is more than enough to warrant a couple hours of your time. It keeps things fresh when it needs to, and outshines basically every other classic series game, bar 2. So if you get the chance, give Mega Man 6 a go. You definitely won't be blown away if you've played Mega Man before, but that don't really matter. It's good, clean platforming fun, and that's what the classic series is all about.